So today we will be reading the second part of Savyakt Murli dated 27th of March 1981, which had the title of How to be Loved by the Father, by People, and by Oneself. So yesterday we saw that Baba was having heart-to-heart conversation with double foreigners, where Baba mentioned that all of us are using the key of all the treasures that we have received from Father whenever we want. So he asked us a couple of questions that are you able to experience the embodiment of peace, love, bliss, etc. constantly? And he mentioned a lot about the constant stage. He also asked us whether we are conquerors of attachments, embodiments of remembrance, and are we experiencing these virtues constantly? So today we will read the next part of the Murli, where Baba mentions about the reward of the confluence age. First, he asks, "Are you are all of you from abroad, receiving the 100% reward?" The reward of the confluence age is to become equal to the Father. Your future reward is the deity status. So, you will all become equal to the Father and experience sitting that stage with the Father for some time. Will you not? A king who sits on a throne would sit on it for some time, would he not? Not that 1 minute he sits on it and the next minute he comes down from it. The reward of the confluence age is the stage of being equal to the Father, which means to remain seated on the throne of the complete stage. You don't just have to attain the reward, but you have to attain it for a long time. So yesterday we were also discussing about this concept of now. That is what Baba is again elaborating, mentioning that reward of confluence age is not something which you achieve towards the end. Of course, we would be going to Satyug towards the end, but even while being at the confluence age, he wants us to attain the reward for a long time. You have to fill yourselves with such sanskars for a long period of time. It must be for your whole life, not just not that you just have the stage for a few minutes. It has to be for your whole life. You have an angelic life. You have a yogi life. You have an easy life. Life means for some time. It doesn't mean being born one moment and dying the next. That wouldn't be called a life. You say that you have attained everything. So, what have you attained? Have you simply attained climbing up and down? What reward have you attained? Have you attained a life equal to that of the Father? For how much longer will you be will you have to make effort? You have been making all kinds of effort for half a cycle. There was so much laboring. devotion, and so many problems on the family path. However, the confluence age is the age of love. It is not the age of having to labor, but the age of celebrating the meeting. It is the age of the truth. Sorry, it is the age of the moth merging with the flame. You speak of having to labor, but there really is no labor. Hmm? So this is another statement where Baba mentions we are mentioning that we have to labor, but as per Baba, there is no labor. Does it take any effort to become a child? Do you receive these things as your inheritance or from your efforts? A child is the crown of the head. A child is the decoration of the home. You children are the father's children, and so you are masters. Hmm? So, again, another way Baba explaining us not to labor is by telling that we, the child, should receive all things as inheritance and not by efforts. I'll read this statement again. Do you receive these things as your inheritance or from your efforts? A child is the crown of the head. A child is the decoration of the home. You children are the father's children, and so you are masters. So why do you masters come down? Have you recognized how elevated your name is? Your name is so elevated. Therefore, your name is the same as your task. Constantly stay with the Father in your elevated stage. That is your real place. Why do you have your place? Sorry, why do you leave your place? To leave your real place means to wander around in many different places. Sit comfortably. Sit in intoxication. Sit with a right. Instead of doing this, you come down and say, what should I do now? When do you come down in the first place and experience a burden? Why do you come down in the first place and experience a burden? Do not keep any burden on your head. When you have the consciousness of mind, you experience a burden on your head. That's another reason Baba is mentioning. When you have the consciousness of mind, you experience a burden on your head. You think, what can I do? How can I do this? I have to do this. Are you doing anything? Or it is just that your name is used and it is the Father who is still doing the work. And so another way we getting rid of the burden of the labor is by putting those questions of I have to do, I might have to Baba doing it. So Baba is asking us, are you doing anything? Or is it that your father is used, sorry, your name is used and it is the father who is still doing the work? When you saw the toy the other day, Was it moving by itself, or was someone making it work? Since science is able to make something work, can the Father not make your work? The Father simply makes you children his instruments in order to glorify your name, because the Father himself is beyond name and fame. This is interesting statement. The Father simply makes you children his instruments in order to glorify your name, because the Father himself is beyond name and fame. Since the Father is offering to take all of your burdens simply to enable you to dance and fly, why do you still carry a burden? There is no question about how service will take place or how you will get lectures, give lectures. Simply consider yourself to be an instrument and sit with your connection forged to the powerhouse. Then see whether you are able to give a lecture or not. Since that toy can be made to work, can your mouth not be made to work? So Baba is just comparing us with the physical toy which works on battery automatically. So Baba is telling that if that toy could work, why can't I make your mouth work? So we rather taking having a question of how will the service take place, how will I give lecture? Why do we take that? Because again, Baba is meeting the double foreigners, and our gyan, our knowledge being so new, naturally one might have that question: how will I speak to someone, or how will I convince someone about Baba's gyan? So Baba is telling that who are you to convince? You are just the instrument, and if those toy can be made work, I can also make your mouth work. So such kind of guarantee, or you could say comfort level, Baba is giving that he would make things work for us. We don't have to worry. That is why Baba is mentioning, since that toy can be made to work, can your mouth not be made to work? Can plans not be made by the intellect? The moment you ask how, you insulate your wire with rubber. Hmm. So this is a very beautiful thing about Baba's Murli. Like when it comes to service and all, we have to become instrument. But yeah, when it comes to all negative thinking and other things, we have to be cautious that we don't go over there. And when we start going there, Baba is mentioning that we are insulating a wire with rubber, and that is how we are not able to have a forged connection to the powerhouse, which Baba mentioned above. Baba further says, then because of the rubber insulation, you are unable to make a connection, and so you do not see any instant fruit. Then you get tired and say, I don't know what's going to happen. Since the Father has made you an instrument, it will definitely happen. If there are only 6 or 8 people somewhere, go somewhere else and make more emerge. Why do you become disheartened? Instead, tour around everywhere. Go to the centers nearby. You have a large area with around you. Even if it merge from somewhere, that is not a small thing. Enable those hidden in a corner somewhere to emerge, and they will sing your praise. So Baba is mentioning, do not worry about the quantity. So even if there are eight, six people, don't get disheartened that they are so less. Enable those hidden in a corner somewhere to emerge, and they will sing your praise. You give blessings from your heart to the souls who are instruments with the Father. Do you not? Even if only one jewel emerges from somewhere, you would have to go somewhere else for another one. You would not. Would you not? Would you have, would you leave that one out? That soul would then be deprived. Let as many as possible emerge and then make progress elsewhere. At the moment, you only have, at the moment, you have only covered a corner of the world. The forest is very large. There are many more to hunt. So why do you still, so why are you still thinking? What is the reason for thinking? When your intellect is filled with waste, you are not able to receive touchings, and your power of discrimination doesn't work. So the reason for power of discrimination not working is our intellect being filled with waste. Baba further says, the clearer something is, the more clearly it is recognized for what it is. Because of your questions of why and what, your powers to discriminate and to receive touchings do not work. Then you either become tired or disheartened. Whenever you have been, wherever you have been, some hidden jewel has definitely emerged from there. For that was why you want there. You went there. There isn't a single place where not a single soul has emerged. In some places, heirs would emerge. In some places, subject, and in other places, wealthy ones. All are indeed. Not everyone will come a king. Not everyone will become a king. Subjects too are needed. It is you, instrumental children, who have to carry out the task of creating subjects? Or is it that you will create the royal family and then Baba will create the subjects? Both have to be created. Simply examine yourselves for two things. First, is your line clear? And second, are you within the line of the code of conduct? So it's asking us to examine two things. First one, is your line clear? And second one, are you within the line of the code of conduct? When you are okay in both of these aspects, you will never become disheartened. Those who have a good connection with the Father and those who have become instruments can never be unsuccessful. To have a connection with just the father is not correct. You also need a connection with the family. You must have a connection with the father because you have to receive power from him. But with who else do you also have to have a relationship? It is just with the father. A kingdom means to be connected with a family. You have to claim three certificates, not just one. First, to be liked by the father means to receive your certificate from the father. Second, to be liked by the people means to receive the certificate of of contentment from the divine family. And the third one is to be liked by oneself means to have contentment in your own mind. And so the title which we were reading yesterday about being liked by all the three. So Baba is mentioning that we should be getting certificates from the three, not just one. So let me read. First one is to be liked by the father means to receive your certificate from the father. To be liked by the people means to receive the certificate of contentment from the divine family. And the third one is to be liked by oneself means to have contentment in your own mind. Let there be no confusion inside you. Let there be no question as to whether you are able to do something or not, whether you are able to carry on doing something or not. To be liked by oneself means to have the certificate of contentment in your own mind. You need to have these three certificates. Just as there is three murti, so you need this three murti certificate. Having just two certificates will not do. You need to have all three. Some of you think that you are content with yourself and content with the Father, and that should be sufficient. But that is not so. When the Father is content with you and you are content with yourself, it is impossible that the family would not be content with you. In order to make the Father, in order to make the family content with you must just pay attention to one small thing. Give regard and receive regard. Continue to play this record day and night. Let the record of giving regard continue to play. No matter what someone is like, you have to go, you have to be a bestower and continue to give. Whether someone gives anything in return or not, you must simply continue to give. Become altruistic in this. I gave this much and that one gave nothing in return. I gave something 100 times and the other didn't even give anything even once. Remain altruistic in this. And i- if not today, then tomorrow the family will automatically be content with you. Your account of charity will continue to accumulate and you will definitely receive the fruit of whatever you have accumulated. So let us pause here. There is something more which Baba mentions ahead, but we can leave that for the next day, whatever, when we all will be reading it tomorrow. For now, let's pause and contemplate on what we have studied today. Okay, you can start sharing now.
Om Shanti, Praful Bhai. Uh, Om Shanti, Divine Family. These three certificates is what I would like to share. Is Baba has highlighted the importance of the three certificate. One is the Father is contented with you. Father is, we are the soul is being liked by the Father. That is a certificate from the Father. Then second is to be liked by oneself, means to have contentment in your own mind, no confusion, very clear, clean and clear intellect. And the third is also very important, not just these two certificates. The third is also important, that in the divine family, entire divine family, people around you also are contented from the soul. The, the third certificate for that, the to give regard and get the regard. So the record of giving the regard should continue to play inside, and whatever be the response from the divine family, from anyone, and not in Lokik family also, one should continue to be giving regard, and that will happen only when it is being taken as a trustee. I'm just an instrument. I have to spread the love of the Supreme Father and continue to give regard. Then automatically this contentment uh, certificate from the people around you will be uh, given to the soul whenever, as and when required. So, Om Shanti. Thank you.
Yes, so Baba mentioned that all the three certificates are necessary, not just two. And he also told that if you feel that you have two, but you are not able to get the third one, that is an impossible thought. If you are getting from Baba and also from yourself, then definitely you should be also able to get from the family. And as brother rightly mentioned, Baba also mentioned the vidhi, the technique of getting the contentment certificate from the family, and that is to give regard. He further uh, emphasized that just don't think that I've given regard so many times, but I'm not getting in return. So I still give, and Baba says to keep on giving. That is where it goes little interesting that um, how much should I give regard if other person is not worthy of it? That is what we feel, and or other person is not accepting it. Because the more we try giving the regard to others, the more probably our expectation increases that we should receive something in return or someone should respond the way we want them to. But Baba mentions nothing doing. Just give regard, just do your task, and things will work out.
And Bhaiji, I think there is some interconnection also. Like if we give regard to everyone and receive the regard, whether receive the regard or not, that doesn't matter. But if we continue to give regard to everyone, then automatically, and also we are contented with my own self, with our own self, then Father is also contented with us. And when Father is contented with me, suppose, and then and I am contented with myself, then it is impossible that the family would not be content with me. So that if you can churn a bit more, Baba has said, I'm just reading the line, when the Father is content with you and you are content with yourself, it is impossible that the family would not be content with you. So the first two criteria, if they are met, the third criteria is automatically implied. It's met. Maybe we can churn on this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Baba.
So basically, even like just continuing with the earlier point which I was mentioning, that if I have expectation, so for example, if I'm giving regard to the family and if I'm not getting the contentment from them or response from them, automatically that means that I'm not content with myself. Why? Because I'm expecting something from others, I'm not getting it. So if I'm not getting from others, automatically that disqualifies the certificate of me getting contented with myself. So these are like, as you mentioned rightly, these statements go hand in hand. So if I'm contented with Father, that means I have got everything what I need. I'm just dependent on one. Automatically, that will no, I will not basically go for others from the family that give me this, give me that. Since Father is abundant, I will also give abundant to everybody. And that datapan, that automatically. So again, being contented with Father also is automatically I'll be connected with family and vice versa. What happens? Why we would feel that we just have the first two certificates and not third? Because of our narrow thinking. Sometimes if we don't get any respect or regard from someone and we just feel that, oh, at least I'm happy with myself. But that is not the case actually, because at the end of the day, I'll be contented with myself completely only when I'm in balance with my inner thoughts. So these all three really goes hand in hand. Probably it is easy for us to figure out the first two because we do heart-to-heart
Om Shanti
conversation with
Praful Bhai.
Baba. Yes, Girjaban. Am I not audible?
Yes, you are.
You're
Okay,
audible.
because okay. No, because I thought I was interrupted in between. So, anyways, Girjaban, continue.
When this particular thing was raised about the certificate, I have not gone still to the second and third. I love the first one. There's a beautiful song in Hindi. Uh, if कोई खूब ना रहे कुछ ना रहे लेकिन प्रभु का प्यार, who's got a साफ दिल सच्चा दिल निर्मल निश्चल जीवन वाले प्रभु को लगते हैं अच्छे हैं. So I think that basic itself, if I first cover, that's the first certificate. and and such kind of souls dance, such kind of souls fly, such kind of souls will find everyone and every child of the Lord a perfect, because that's what that's why always that song always attracted me in Prabhu Pasand, when Baba speaks about what is needed to really to be loved by God. Like they say, to remember God, to be in his dictionary. And I think that itself, if I really give my 100%, automatically the family will come. And the mind is, of course, that's a, I just wanted to connect when the brother spoke about that one thing, Prabhu Pasan, that song, even if you play, if you see the way with which, the passion with which Baba says how he loves a clean and honest art. So that I always take whenever the Prabhu Pasan comes, I always take the song. But if I could just add something, Praful Bhai, remember, I had a concern yesterday about what was Baba trying to mention, why he's giving us such questions. But today's Murli, if you see, he has given the complete action plan, full action plan. One by one, you were reading out. Fill yourself with some scars for a long time. Now, this is the wonderful confluence age of love, of celebrating, of merging. You are a child, you are a decoration. Stay with the Father, stay in your place, sit with intoxication, sit with the right, no questions, no burden, sit with your connection forged. That whole paragraph which you read, it was full of what, and when you read that scientific, even though I am not good in science, the wire, if you say how, your wire will be insulated with rubber. I liked that because then there is no connection at all. And if I have to remove that and I have to feel that, definitely happen. And when Baba says tour round, go round everywhere, find hidden jewels. It is such a large forest. One of this person you'll definitely find. I even like the way Baba sends us on to. I just wanted to say that Prabhu Pasand, of course, is thing. And for that, Baba gives only two: clear intellect, two lines. Line of intellect clear, line of Shrimat clear. It was an action plan. Yesterday, what I asked you, today Baba has given the complete what action plan you can do for all those checking points. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yes, Sanjay bhai.
Baba today has given how to do it. Baba told how to do it. Baba sometimes says, you have to follow this, you have to do this, that, and all that. But how to do, Baba has clearly spoken today. What I feel that if you are having Nishchay Buddhi, that God Himself has come. What that you are remembering, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, He Himself at the H capital, Himself has come. And what Baba says, and if you love Baba, Nishchay Buddhi is there, start, if you love Baba, unconditional love. When there is love, there is unconditional love. तुम मारो या प्यार करो या ठुकराओ, हम तेरा डर न छोड़ेंगे. What happens when you love anybody? You don't expect anything in return. You just give, give, give and give. And the best certificate that you get it from yourself. What you feel that, yes, I have done my best, I have done my part. And Baba always says that if you will do your part with by following all the code of conducts, by following all the srimats, you will never be disheartened. See, when Baba talks about body conscious and soul conscious, basically when you're body conscious, you want something. But when you're soul conscious, you are a giver. So what happens in this confluence age also, we Brahmins sometimes become body conscious and start expecting and then become disheartened. So children talks to Baba and tells Baba, this is confluence age, Sangam Yoga, Baba, dukh kaise aa gaya? Baba says that when you are in soul conscious state, then only you are in this confluence age. The moment you become body conscious, you are out of the confluence, you are in Kali Yuga. So if we are in this confluence age, that means if we are bodiless, that is state of Nirakari, Nirvikari and Nirahankari, connected to Baba. Baba hi mera sansar hai. And see, you're not giving regard to anybody. That is coming automatically. If the word comes, give regard. Why? Because Baba is telling give regard. Because today is a situation that a person is not does not want to give regard basically to anybody. The regard should come from the heart. If you love Baba, the regard comes from the heart. And when you love Baba, and when you'll understand that everything belongs to Baba, you'll start loving everything which belongs to Baba. Baba says that see everybody as a soul. What I feel, कन कन में भगवान है, वो बात तो ठीक नहीं है, लेकिन अगर हम उसको सब में देखेंगे, भगवान को हम सब में देखेंगे, तो सबसे प्यार हो जाएगा. दैट इज द वे. अगर किसी को किसी से रिगार्ड करने में दिक्कत होती है, तकलीफ होती है, इफ यू कैन सी गॉड इन हिम, यू स्टार्ट गिविंग रिगार्ड टू हिम. If you'll be able to see God in him, you'll start loving him. If you'll understand that that person belongs to God, you'll start loving him. So, if the question comes to give regard, that means there is something wrong. It comes automatically. Automatically. As we love Baba, we will have regard to Baba. See, Baba today has also talked about that. The confluence is a full of love, should be full of love, should be full of remembrance of Baba, and should be a full intoxication that yes, Baba, Mera Baba hai. And confluence is also a period of glorification. Although what happens in Sangam Yuga, something magical things happen, what I feel. Although I do not believe in such magic and all that, but what that happens is nothing less than magic. Because we are Kalahin in Kali Yuga, Baba comes, gives us the knowledge. And then what happens? Then we understand that I belong to Baba. And when I feel I belong to Baba, I love myself and love Baba. And then when I feel that everything belongs to Baba, I start loving everything. And in that process, Baba becomes Sansar. So there is a lot of purusharth which has to be done. But sometimes that purusharth, for some children, it becomes a burden if they find that it is very difficult. Again, here comes that if you have, are you having Nishchay Buddhi with Baba? Do you love Baba? If you have Nishchay Buddhi with Baba, if you love Baba, see, labor is there. Labor is still there. But mehnat to hai. When there is muhabbat, what do you feel? ये मेहनत नहीं है. I try to understand by the word labor that how the labor, see, मेहनत तो है, पुरुषार्थ तो है, but itself it is not labor. But how it is that labor भी है, मेहनत भी है और मेहनत की अनुभूति नहीं है? Because you are full of intoxication. जब कोई व्यक्ति नशे में रहता है तो उसे थकान महसूस नहीं होती, ऐसा लोग कहते हैं. और ये ऐसा नशा है, such an intoxication, ज्ञान अमृत का जो नशा है, it is above all intoxications. And in that intoxication, what happens? In the intoxication of the world, लोग नाली में गिर जाते हैं, they become waste. They become waste, waste. And when a person is intoxicated by the Jnana Amrit, he becomes the best. He becomes lawful. And when the child becomes lawful, becomes loyal, and with loyalty and lawfulness, that's the word labor, the first letter L. If the child becomes loyal also, lawful also, और उसके साथ साथ वो loveful भी होता है, full of love, unconditional love. The second letter A, he has to be audacious, he has to be bold, because he has to face Maya. And with audaciousness, boldness, he's also adorned with divine virtues. Boldness is there, audaciousness is there. On the other part is adorned with divine virtues. बोल्ड भी है, गंभीर भी है, और साथ साथ वो सजा हुआ ज्ञान अलंकार से सजा हुआ है. Adorned with divine virtues.
Yeah.
And the next B for bold के साथ साथ तो बलिहार भी है, बोल्डनेस भी है और साथ साथ बलिहार भी है. And O, that object है, उसके पास बहुत सारे distractions है, but he's also outstanding. And another letter U, everything is uncertain, anything can happen at any time, but he has uplifted himself to such a level that it doesn't, उसके पास कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. And the last letter R, रिस्पॉन्सिबल के साथ साथ वो रूहानी भी है. कभी कभी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी में बहुत तकलीफ होती है, अरे कितना करें, लेकिन जब वो रूहानी हो जाता है, इन दिस प्रोसेस व्हाट हैपेंस, लेबर डज नॉट सीम्स टू बी लेबर, मेहनत नहीं रहता है, वो मोहब्बत हो जाता है. और जब मोहब्बत हो जाता है तो उसके लिए कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. वो जिसको चाहता है वो भी हमारी चाहती हो जाती है. तो बाबा किसको चाहता है? बाबा ऐसे बच्चों को चाहता है जो श्रीमत को फॉलो करता है. हम श्रीमत को फॉलो करेंगे, बाबा भी अच्छा लगेगा. और बाबा ईश्वरीय परिवार को भी बहुत चाहता है, तो ईश्वरीय परिवार भी मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, ऑटोमेटिक लगेगा, क्योंकि मेरा प्यार किससे है? बाबा से. बाबा इज द मेन कोर थिंग. बाबा ना होता तो सेंटर ना होता, बहनें ना होती, ईश्वरीय परिवार नहीं होता. बाबा से सब है, इसलिए बाबा से सब है. जिससे बाबा है और बाबा से जो है उसके लिए रिगार्ड ऑटोमेटिक है. वो करना नहीं है, ऑटोमेटिक होगा. ओम शांति.
So let us do a small reflection because we are already over time. I, the soul seated at the center of forehead. Examining myself. That my line is clear with Baba, as well as how much I'm in the line of the code of conduct. And I know when I check this, I will never become disheartened. The more I have a good connection with Bap Dada, the more I become instrument which can never become unsuccessful. I, the soul, has 3 certificates: being liked by Father, by the people, as well as by the self. And with these 3 certificates, I begin my day. Om Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day.